Good morning, Poet fans. Welcome to the first Coleman's Corner of the 2015-16 season. I'm Lance Franey, the Assistant Athletic Director for Communications, and I'm joined this morning by Executive Director of Athletics, Robert Coleman. Rob, thank you for sitting down with us this morning.
Thanks for having me, Lance. I appreciate it.
We have a lot to discuss this morning regarding the fall sports who are halfway through their season. First things first, women's soccer. What a season they're having, 5-0, 2-0 in SCIAC, and what a turnaround they've had. Madison Shipper leading the charge with 8 goals, leads the SCIAC Conference, was named SCIAC Athlete of the Week, and has 2 hat tricks in a 2-week period. What has Monica Gerardo done to turn this program into a contender?
Well, I think I've always known that, Monica knows the game of soccer as well as anybody in our conference as a coach. I really believe it took her some time just to kind of figure out the recruiting piece. It's not simple to do. I think our coaches are grinders here. The school's not inexpensive. Financial aid packages, what the gap is with those things, and it takes a while really to kind of figure that whole piece out. So I think we're much more athletic this year with much more team speed, and obviously this is why we had those conversations with Maddie a year ago, the possibility of coming back and playing with a group of new recruits that we're really high on. And so obviously Maddie adds a whole new dimension to it. But I think now Maddie really trusts the teammates that she has, and it's not all about her trying to fight through 3 girls anymore to try to get a goal. I mean, she can feel confident, she can dish the ball, and our defense is really playing well. So look, we've got a long way to go. We're not even at the end of September, but we're really off to a great start. And I think we should be in the pack. And who knows where it's going to go? Can we stay here? Perhaps. Again, it's a young team with a lot of talent. And can that young team kind of hang in there? We'll see. But are we a top 4 team? I think we could be, absolutely. And so let's see where we are. Every Wednesday, Saturday, we've got a couple more games here this month, and that will really give us a good indication of what we need to do that last month.
And then in her first 4 seasons, Monica, she's combined for 9 wins, has 1 conference win in 2 years, but it's already doubled that now this season. And currently the women's soccer team's in first place in SCIAC. Looking forward, if teams find a way to shut down Madison, do we have that depth and other scores who can help balance that attack?
Yeah, well, like I just said, I think there's a lot more talent on our team, and Maddie can feel, and I know she does, feels really confident, giving that ball up now with some of the other talent we have on our team, and she doesn't need to take it upon herself. And to be quite honest, because we do have other talent, it really keeps the defense honest. I mean, they can't triple team Maddie, and if they do, which could be a team strategy, we feel really good with the other girls, other young ladies on the team, that they're going to be able to score goals. But once again, Lance, I tell you, I think our defense, our midfield and our defense are playing really well right now, and that alone in itself. Last year, we could have 2 goals scored on us, and we kind of feel deflated because we didn't have the offense. I think if we get a goal or 2 now in a game, we feel great because of how our defense is right now. So
big change.
So again, the sky's the limit. We're off to a great start, and we're just going to keep plugging away and play game by game and kind of see where it takes us.
Okay, now moving over into men's soccer. After a 5-0 loss to start the season off to Menlo, some fans were worried, but Shay Harwell has gotten his team to bounce back in a big way, upsetting number 22 Biola, earning a hard-fought tie with Occidental, who's actually undefeated on the season, outscoring Caltech 9-2 and beating a tough Pomona pitcher squad on the road for the first time in 3 years since we were in the SCIAC postseason tournament. What does he contribute his success to, and do you think he has an opportunity to return to the SCIAC postseason tournament?
Yeah, I do. I think soccer, probably all 9 schools could be in the playoffs. I mean, it's a jumble right now. Obviously, I think Oxy's jumped out to the lead, so to speak, and happy to get that tie here that evening. That game could have gone either way. We need to just get some consistency. You can't win one night and lose one night and go back and forth with 1 weeks. You got to get a little streak, which will help separate you from the pack if we're able to do that. And we thought, that could have happened after a big win early in the week. We thought, against Pomona, maybe if we got that CMS, we would get that going, and we lose a 1-0 tough fall game. So they certainly have enough talent to be a top 4 team here. but you can't have a bad losing streak on the other end of it also. You can't lose 2 or 3 in a row. So, tonight we got a game at home, and excited about that, and then we got a game home here on Saturday, and you got to win those home games. That's key. So yeah, I think, again, I don't know if there's just one set superstar on that team. I think there's a bunch of good talent on the team where, again, they can't key on just one guy. Wood's playing really good right now and scoring some goals, but and being the leader on the team. But I think our defense and our goalie situation is really, really good as well. So, hey, we'll see. We just got to keep churning it right now. Like I said, there's 6 or 7 teams all just jumbled up, and the team who can win 3 or 4 in a row is really going to separate themselves.
Yeah. And what's great is, graduated a lot of guys last year, key starters from last year, but he has a lot of depth this year. You've definitely seen a lot of players who didn't play as much last year really step up, and they're playing very well this season.
Yeah, young team. And I think Shea was really happy and encouraged. He thought this was probably his finest recruiting class since he's been here. And Shea's no different than Monica. I mean, it's taken some time to kind of figure out and get your niche and the whole thing. And the coaches who are in this conference 10, 12, 13 years, you usually see them up on the top because they've kind of figured out that recruiting thing. And so, Shea's well on his way to, hopefully this year we'll get back in that. But I think we'll be there again, continually if we can catapult and use this recruiting class and get another good one next year as well.
Great. Now, moving into volleyball, second consecutive Sky loss. Last night, tough loss to number 7 Cal Lutheran University in straight sets. They played hard, but started off hot in non-conference play. They're 7-2. They've lost to Laverne. They've dropped a straight sets loss to Cal Lutheran, and they got Claremont coming up this coming Saturday, and then a home match with Occidental. So it doesn't get any easier. But that's 4th spot for the Sky Postseason tournament is up for grabs. Can our girls fight through this little mini slump that they got going and get back to their winning ways, what they did earlier in the season?
Yeah, I would think so. I would hope so. They've worked really, really hard, and those non-conference games, it gave us confidence. But at the same point, our conference is one of the best in volleyball in the country. The 3 top teams I believe, are ranked in the top 25 in the country, and they belong being ranked in the top 25 in the country. But we've still got a long way. To start off with the 3 best schools right off the bat. There's a lot of teams that potential wins down there, and we've got to go out and beat the Oxys and beat the Chapmans and beat the Pomonas when we have that opportunity. And whoever wins those games is going to be the 4th place team, quite honestly. That's just kind of where it is. We have Oxy here on Saturday night, and that's where we got to get going and get started. I think sure we're probably nervous, maybe a little afraid when we play the Caloos and so forth, but we've got to kind of get past that stage of, you can't look at the ranking and be afraid of it. You just got to go out and really play. And last night, again, we jumped on them, but we couldn't sustain it. And, their experience and their talent kind of took over. And, that's the way we've got to play all the other schools in our conference when we play them. And so hopefully we'll get off to a good start. And like I said, I think the ladies are really, really working hard. And, to have 7 wins already at this point of the season is a great start. And, hopefully by the end of the month we'll be 10 and something or 11 and something and somewhere in 4th, 5th place. And October will be really, really interesting and exciting.
Yeah, do you feel that it's good to play those tough teams right off the bat? First thing, you got 3 in a row, all ranked in the top 25 like you said.
Yeah.
Does that help us before we start playing some of the weaker teams in the conference, I would say?
I don't know if it really helps us. Personally, it'd be great if you had a tough one and maybe a so-called easier one and then a tough one and kind of break it up. It's never good, for your mindset to be 0-3 right off the bat. But at the same point, it is what it is, and you just got to deal with it and know and be confident that your talent's going to come through. As we get to the other part of the other schools in our conference, as we get to them. But listen, again, we've got some tough matches with Chapman coming up in Pomona, and we're going to have to grind those out and get victories if we're thinking of making the top 4. So
and who has Chris really leaned on this year? He's got some great outside hitters, Casey Loudon, Rebecca Slattery, Haley White up in the middle. We've got Tori Mitsunaga, senior setter. Are those great leaders for our young squad to really show what we've got?
Yeah. Haley's a really good player. Me personally, I think she might be the best player in the team, in my opinion. Tori's been great, setting the ball for many years for us. And again, I think he's got a good group to work with right now. It'd be great to, again, add a piece or two as we continue down. You saw last night what a bounce back D1 transfer does. you know, in the middle, and you know she's smacking the ball all over the place, and you know that's a huge plus, and to have a comfort level when you have a player like that playing against you. So nonetheless, I think we're in really good shape. We just gotta get through this next. When do we play next? Is Saturday our next match?
Friday away on the road against Claremont, and then home on against Occidental.
We go play really hard on Friday night, and whatever happens, but we got to come back on Saturday and get a W and get our season in good shape here in the conference.
Moving over to the pool, men's water polo currently ranked number 1 in the Division III CWA polls. They've also found themselves ranked in the Division I varsity polls at number 19. They've also found themselves some tough matchups as of late: LMU, UCLA, USC, UC Irvine, but they continue to be the team to beat in SCIAC. Is this the case still?
Yeah, I mean, look, we're 2-time champs, so I mean everyone's shooting for us. There's no doubt about that. I mean, every year, we play these same great teams, the UCLAs, the USCs. I don't really get it, quite honestly. I've always been opposed to that. I've always been someone in the conference who always wanted to say, hey, let's play each other twice instead of once. I'm more in that realm, sitting at the AD's table, but that's just the nature of water polo, and I don't know how much we get out of it, but it is what it is. Look, we're in good shape with water polo right now. I think Justin did another great job recruiting, replacing some great players. I mean, Hall of Fame players who left our program, and we're in good shape. I think, hey, is Chapman going to be there at the end? Yes, they are. Is Claremont going to be there at the end? Yes, they are. I mean, is someone else going to sneak in there? Perhaps, but we've got to play well at the end of the day. When it comes to the semifinals or the finals, we're going to have to play our best. I mean, that's all there is to it, because that other team's going to play their best against us. And so, I think we're okay. We've got some great matches coming up this week with Navy coming into town. I believe Air Force is coming into town. And those are matches that, hey, we should be in. Can we steal one? Perhaps. But we're getting ready for conference. I mean, these guys are really a close-knit bunch. And they've worked really hard. And they've got their mind on they're very result orientated, and they've got their minds on that trophy right now. They know that they've got to come through Whittier in order to get that championship, and I think we're up for it.
Okay. And then who does Justin lean on? You talked about Gorham Matthias graduating, Ryan Bernanke graduating, Marco Zurich, Philip Delich, Hall of Fame caliber players. You still got Wedge Moulton around, you got Masi, you got Marino Fatovic and Mihailo Vuja, some of the new players that have come in. But you see Justin's games playing a ton of different players, just trying to get a feel of who he's got as a starting lineup. Sure. I mean, do you see that as well?
Yeah, I mean, and I think he should be doing that, quite honestly. I mean, again, we've got some new players, and he's trying to get a feel for what the best group of guys playing together. But, look, Masi and Wedge are huge for us. I mean, they've been through the championship. Wedge has been through 2 of them. He's been in those tough overtime games, and 2 years ago in championship when he scored the winning goal. I mean, we need guys like that, because it's going to get harder and harder. It's not going to get any easier. And Masi's been through it, and so again, we've brought some kids in who've played some top level water polo, so shouldn't be a shock when we get into the playoffs of how that level is just going to rise. And we've got some good conference games at home and on the road that will be interesting, and so again, I think we're more than ready to hopefully defend our title.
But now moving into cross country. Set to run at the Stanford Invitational this coming Saturday against some tough competition. They haven't done any conference meets yet, but they have the last 2 invites that they've gone against, Cal State Fullerton invite, the UCR invite, they've played Division I programs. Do you think there will be a couple of runners who can qualify for nationals again? We have our 2014 qualifiers, Jalissa Tobias, Ruben Salorza, both returning, but can they repeat? And can they lead the teams to a strong finish in SCIAC?
Yeah, the men, Ruben, great runner for us, and I think the men with a small team, again, the really tight-knit group there, and we got a chance to move up. We moved into 8th place in the West Region this week, and we've got a chance to do something, absolutely, to make regionals. I think that's absolutely a possibility, to bring some guys back to national. Yeah, I think for sure the men have a great opportunity to finish even top 3 in the conference, quite honestly. I think Claremont and Pomona have kind of separated themselves right now, but I think third place is up for grabs. On the ladies' side, a little younger, bigger roster, but I think we still. Can we bring someone to nationals? Absolutely. We might be a year still away there for to do the top 10, top 5 in the region. But the men are well on their way right now. Absolutely.
Last but not least, football. Football. Definitely not to start head coach Todd Strand wanted, with both non-conference meetings being losses of Whitworth and Austin College, both losses being 47-11, 54-12. What needs to happen to change the season around?
Mm-hmm. I think folks who are outside of the program don't, and understandably, don't see or wouldn't see all the great things that Todd and his staff are working on with the culture of our program in-house. Our kids are bought into what we're trying to do. I mean, I'm a firm believer of that. We need to open things up offensively, no question. We got 2 new quarterbacks, brand new to our program. And I think, we will see that. We got a week off this week, and we had a couple injuries on the offensive line, which have hurt. We lost one of our key running backs, this past week with a shoulder issue, and defensively we haven't really played that poorly. I'll be honest. I think Whitworth's a very, very good football team. We lost clearly to the better team, and that team might be the number 1 team in our conference. They're playing Chapman, this week, and so that we just got caught against a very, very good team. I think Austin was a good program, but not nearly as good as Whitworth. I think we just played really, really poorly, and the quarterback situation, has to improve. We can't throw 6 interceptions, just can't do it. And so we've got to get better there and take care of the football and kind of open things up a little bit more, and hopefully we are going to turn it around. We have a tough competitor in Cal Lutheran next game. But we also do have other games that are winnable in our minds coming up, and we're going to have to try to get a couple of them. Some of them are at home, and but Cal Lutheran, that's the next step. That's the next game on our mind, and we got to go up there prepared and obviously just play better football. But the things that are going on in the program, we are headed in the right direction in-house with some of the things that we're doing. So I'm happy for that, and we just got to get better on the field.
And is it too late to turn the season around? Do you think with our team currently we can compete with the Redlands, Chapmans, Cal Lutherans, those top teams in our conference?
Quite honestly, yeah. I think we're going to go in and compete, and we want to compete and play much better than we've played. Those teams are better than us. Let's be real. Chapman's better than us. They are, clearly. Redlands has been better. Since in my 10 years that I've been here, I think we've beaten Redlands once. So I can't sit here and say that we're as good as those teams. But can we win games against Laverne or Pomona, or is CMS a possibility? Is Oxy? Yeah. Those are all possibilities. We've got to play really good. I think Oxy's got a super quarterback right now. He's playing really, really well, and Pomona has a wonderful running back on their team, and so everyone has that kind of player on their team that we're trying to figure out who that player is on our team right now. But we just got to come and execute better, Lance. We got to take care of the football and execute better and open some things up, and those are possibilities for us. Now, we're going to have a winning season this year. I don't know, but can we win 2, 3, 4 football games? That's still a possibility, absolutely. And I think that's why our kids are keeping their heads up, because the sky's the limit still in that regards.
So we're looking at all SCIAC sports standings. Last year we did fantastic, 10 points away from Cal Lutheran. And we're off to a strong start here in the fall. What are we looking forward to in the 3 seasons to bump up in those all-sports standings? What are we looking for?
Well, look, we've come such a long way, Lance, as just competing. When I first arrived here, we were a W on everyone's schedule, quite honestly. And, now we're just competing at, a much, much higher level, winning 3 SCIAC championships last year. And we expect the same. I think our men's and women's basketball team is going to be super strong this year. I think Dee Dee's done an amazing job with losing the seniors she lost and the recruits we've brought in. We're going nowhere in softball but staying on top, in my opinion. I think that, what women's water polo is going to be able to bring back and where we're going to be there. I think, the hiring of Quinn for tennis and the future of tennis and getting back to the days when David Bojala was here, being ranked in the top 20 in the country, I don't think we're far away from that stuff again. So, we're doing well in the fall right now. We'll kind of see where we go.
That's where it starts.
But
right in the fall, and we're doing just that.
But the winter, and I'll be honest, I mean, our women's teams did really, really well last year. I mean, that is what has catapulted us into that 5th place. Is our men teams have always done pretty well, and the women's were always kind of trailing off. And now our women's teams are very, very competitive. And that helps with that jump. When you have men's and women's playing on an equal level, that's what takes us over.
Great. Now that's going to end the talks here for the fall sports. Now let's shift gears. A ton of new additions to the athletic department. Can you shed some light on who those individuals are, what they mean to this program, and what impact can they make right away in their specific area?
Yeah, well, first off, the main one was hiring Mike Senio as our strength conditioning coordinator. Mike, and we have a great grad fellow, Matthew, downstairs with Mike, and that's really, first off and foremost is that's helped our program immensely and immediately. We're seeing results already with that, and so and the future is bright in that regard. I mean, we never had that in our program, and I think that is one area of the next step for us, and kind of taking us and catapulting us to one of the better teams in our conference. Or one of the better programs in our conference. So that's huge. I mean, hiring Quinn to be the director of tennis, Quinn Calderon, I think he's going to do great job being familiar with the conference, coming from Cal Lutheran, and obviously what they've done in that program up there. I think that that's going to be awesome as well. And Jason Nunez as our head men's golf coach. Rich Kim resigned, and Rich, tremendous alumnus, former football player here. It just wasn't working with his schedule, and so the addition of Jason's going to be a huge as well. So happy with all those things, and again, I think what we're doing in strength conditioning is helping us go to that next level.
Last but not least, Rob, we have a new Poet Student Athlete Leadership Academy headed by Monica Gerardo, and we are one of the few schools across the country to begin something like this. Can you talk to us what this academy is all about and what the goals are for it?
Yeah, well, Monica Gerardo, our head women's soccer coach, is the director of the academy, and we've had talks over the last couple of years of things that we could do beyond just for our kids going to class and playing sports, and this leadership academy is building leaders, is exactly what it is, and it's getting our student athletes prepared to go out to the real world and be leaders out there and be successful. So it's a mentorship program as well, because we've invited 60 student athletes into the program, 30 returning athletes and 30 new freshmen / transfers, new students, and there's a mentorship program going. We have just a great curriculum / agenda for the fall. I mean, we're doing things, we're talking about how we can build our culture here in the program and how they can be the leaders in helping us get there. As you know, Lance, we're working on that with UNX, with our own staff, and it's a trickle-down effect. We're constantly thinking of new ways of how to continue to build our culture within this program. It's a small-knit family, but as we continue to build that, as we continue to be more successful on the playing field, it really is making us even, that much stronger, so to speak. The addition to Mike, the whole 9 yards, we're constantly building that culture, and that's what this Leadership Academy is about.
Well, Rob, that's all the time we have for you today. I want to thank you for joining us here on the Whittier College Sports Network. I know it was an early morning, but you're here bright and early all the time, so thank you.
Yeah, thank you, Lance.
Make sure you tune in next month as we wrap up the fall sports, discuss teams who have a shot for SCIAC postseason berths, and what lies ahead for the winter with basketball and swimming and diving. Thank you for tuning in. This is Lance Franey from the Whittier College Sports Network.